Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your December reading. So we have here the overall event here, or the vibe that is there for you in this month of December, and we also have the top major highlights taking place for you. So let's get started. We have the first quarter moon with grow. So as the name suggests, there is some sort of growth here. Any efforts that you have begun, I'm gonna say 6 months earlier, is going to start showing its results here. But let's get some more highlights, see what that's all about. We have flowers, which corresponds with happiness over here. So in this month you're celebrating, and these flowers here, it's reminding me of springtime and that connected with growth period. Again, there is a blossoming of sorts. You can see new potentials. If many things are appealing to you, you're feeling happy with the results of things or how things are going in general. Then we have mice, which is discord among friends or family. Okay, there can be some differences in opinions here. But with happiness being there, I don't think that's a big enough problem to kind of deteriorate the month as a whole. Next, we have butterfly, which is a change for the better. Okay, so there is a change, there is some sort of debate or disagreement, and we have happiness there. So let's see how all of this flows in with your tarot cards. First, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so I suppose we're starting with the mice card over there, because this card points to a trickery and kind of keeping things under wraps. It can be something that is being hidden, not out of malicious intent as such, but can be considered or kind of perceived as that because there is an unseen aspect to things. The Seven of Swords is kind of not yet ready to unveil the full picture, so kind of keeping it to yourself. But it can also be a trickery and sort of like read the fine print, otherwise you can get tricked, you can get into trouble later down the line. So kind of being careful with that is a good idea. But either way, this is like a not a master strategist, but is a strategist in the making, kind of has plans for things, but might not have the best ideas of how to carry out those ideas, so can slip into negative thought patterns of self-sabotaging or kind of keeping everybody at bay and kind of shooting yourself in the foot, that type of vibe here. So this, I don't know if this is you or someone else, because we do have among friends or family, so it can be someone else being secretive here, and they have their own reasons for it, and I don't think that this is going to have a very personal huge impact on you. It's just surprising to find out. So something that is trying to be hidden is coming to the surface, and that's what's causing a sort of discord here. And if this is talking about you, if you have self-sabotaging behaviors or where you have some negative self-talk and so on, you can kind of, I feel like you're shifting out of that, because with the happiness and change for the better here, because you stop talking to yourself in a negative manner or about your work or anything that you're interested in and so on, you also stop having discord among friends and family. It kind of is like the fights that you've been having or the conversations and debates you've been having, the differences have existed because nothing has changed in between. But now in this month, there is a recognition of what keeps you kind of resistant to change, or I mean, you are a mutable sign, so that's not really the top example that I should be giving, but anything that keeps you not feeling your best. Yeah, exactly. So anything that keeps you not feeling your best, like you're not able to shine and so on, I feel you're recognizing why that might be, where you keep yourself down in any way. Okay, but if you're signing something in this month, yeah, maybe take a look at the fine print, because as soon as we have other people getting involved, this can be a possibility of someone having a malicious intent, but kind of keeping it on the down low of sorts. Then we have the nine of cups here, which talks about wish fulfillment, that emotional satisfaction, spiritual bliss and enhancement here. That connected with the happiness card talks about, it's about feeling abundant, feeling rich, like you have things heading your way. Then we have the king of cups, can be a compassionate father figure. There is empathy and compassion here. You can be showing this, but you're also experiencing it through other people and your interactions with them. There are some meaningful conversations and connections you create in this month that make you feel very rich and happy and lucky as well. There is more prosperity coming in general into your life here. So can be the change for the better that we're talking about here. And this can relate with water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Okay, then we have the judgment, which is liberation. And yeah, see, if there are self-sabotaging behaviors, you're kind of going out of that. You're understanding why that was there, and you're feeling compassion for yourself instead of complaining about it or critiquing yourself on it. And you're just taking that in stride, and that helps you kind of rise above or transcend your current limitations. So while the external circumstances might still be the same, or the people you're surrounded by might still be argumentative, you're choosing to take the more peacemaker role. You're like, no, I'm going to keep my center, I'm going to keep my cool, I'm going to be collected and deal with this in a very fair manner and let the chips fall where they may. And in the meantime, you're just like hoping that there is a way out that comes through for you. I feel there is. Okay. Then we have the world, which talks about graduation. It is about travel as well. Kind of emerging from your comfort zone, your shell, and kind of creating something new here, especially with the butterfly there. You're being protected throughout this month. There can be some spiritual signs and synchronicities. You could have some profound spiritual experiences as well. All three cards over here talks about a very deep personal change and elation, a form of elation here. You're very happy with what comes through. There is a realization that sinks in. There is a form of integration of all of the different skills you've learned in life. And it's sort of like, I'm not falling back in the same old patterns. I'm not falling for the same type of people or same circumstances or same type of self-talk towards myself. I'm not getting myself in that situation to begin with, and that's the end of it. Okay, so there can be an escape plan as well that you're making, not literally, but kind of escape from a certain pattern. Like, how do you break out of it, of that cycle and so on? So you're asking yourself in that way. And there is definite growth, like we saw from the beginning. Butterfly talks about that. The world and judgment talk about growth as well. So Seven of Swords, with all of the cards combined, I don't feel a very negative thing. It can be a very minor thing that you're not even bothered by. So there can be discord happening around you, but you are acting as the peacemaker. You're conducing the happiness, and perhaps you're making the change for the better. You're being compassionate towards the people around you. You're kind of understanding the different viewpoints, but you have something to say that would revolutionize things, or you have a different way of seeing things that can resolve any problems that are there among other people's relationships as well. See? So, yeah, okay. And in the meantime, you might also be thinking, oh, geez, I don't want to be dealing with these types of fights all the time or these type of debates anymore because it's not relevant. Let's just come together in peace and so on. The world here can be, again, like I said, traveling someplace. It can be a spiritual, metaphorical travel here, but it can be a literal one as well. It can be a plan that you make quite quickly. So you might not have the time to kind of worry about the refund or this and that, and that's where a sort of trickery can happen if there are any rushed last minute decisions here. Okay, so that's a warning. Then we have You Are Magic with card number 1 corresponding with the Magician. So this talks about your skills and your talents here. You're very skilled and you have a lot of resources, and you can make a lot of wonderful things with all that you are, all that you have, all that you've learned, and so on. So I feel you're taking your power back if it has been leaking in some way, whether you're kind of giving it out yourself or there's someone in your life that kind of encroaches in your space, so on. You're kind of asserting your willpower, and you're like, okay, let me be clear in a very compassionate but direct manner that this is my space, this is a violation, and you're going to stay out of this boundary. It can also be that you are very effective at communicating your perspective, whether that is in an artistic, creative form of expression or in a very verbal or written sense. You're using, once again, all your Virgo skill sets to make something happen that suits who you are. There is an up level of your life, and therefore I love that these two poses are so similar, kind of leaping up into the air. It's like you're becoming lighter beyond this point. You're kind of letting go of things that are just not you, and therefore stepping into that authenticity where your real magic lies. And when we talk about change, a change for the better, it's not really changing us into something we're not. Changes happen when we need to shed the things that are not us in order to become more us, right? So you're feeling very happy and just really good with all things that are happening. The world here is on top of the world, a very high sense of fulfillment here. It can't be explained. And the same goes with the Judgment and the King of Cups. It's a feeling that is there, and it's so rich that it can't really be put into words. And if you try to put in the words, just like with the Seven of Swords, it can feel like you're missing something. You're leaving out a certain detail that is super important. But however much you try to put into words, however many times cleverly try to put it, it's just not going to show up as good as if you are the one feeling it. So it's a sense of transcendence and fulfillment, kind of unparalleled. Then we have follow through. Okay, so I love all the green going on here. It talks about the heart chakra. It talks about kind of being open to receiving and letting your heart guide you, following your passions as well, anything that lights you up from within. So again, follow your happiness, create through more happiness, create more happiness, and invite in more of that as well. So following through on your plans, no matter what, that's coming through here, especially with the Seven of Swords. So if it's a pattern that you want to let go, an addiction that you might want to let go, you're doing that, you're following up on it. If there is a plan that you had paused for a while, then you're coming back around to that plan and you're following through on that. You're deciding on the next steps. So the Seven of Swords in that case becomes a strategist, and the Magician can be a master strategist here. Okay, let's get clever. Let's get resourceful. What do we have here with us? What can we do? What's the capacity here? Let's use all of that and make magic happen, basically. Okay, so your blessings coming in this month. We have destiny. Okay, it is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves, said by William Shakespeare. And we have beauty and happiness. A thing of beauty is a joy forever, by John Keats. So beauty corresponding with happiness, again, we have that twice. And destiny is like fated changes and circumstances happening here. Any clarity that comes in can feel sort of fated. And once again, when we talk about destiny, it's like a big deal, right? We're looking at a bigger picture. It's like, okay, so me being here right now makes sense, or me coming to this realization and this natural conclusion helps me graduate into the next phase of my life. And it feels right that I'm here. It feels right that I'm connecting with so and so. And it's also kind of moving up towards your purpose. It's like that purpose just becomes very clear. The Judgment as well, it basically says the truth will set you free. So if there's something being hidden from you from an external perspective, that's going to come about, and that's very liberating for you. If it is something within you that is unclear, then the clarity comes in, and the acknowledgement and acceptance with that, which helps you liberate yourself from your circumstances as well. But it just feels very fated and very rich in that way, that it had to be right now. It had to be in this type of situation, or with this person, or in this place, and so on. And that helps you move further up towards your purpose there. And I mean, that when we follow that purpose, we are filled with a different level of fulfillment. It again can't be expressed into words. It's just very beautiful through and through. And you just, yeah, it's sort of a solo experience, I suppose. But I feel like you're experiencing some of that. But on a more local scale, again, it can be being in the right place at the right time, and you're following up on the opportunities that are presenting themselves to you, regardless of some differences in opinions. You're following what feels right to you here. Okay, so Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for their December, please. Any more info? We have Pisces, Sun, and the 4th house. 4th house has been coming up a lot for quite a few zodiacs here. So can be connecting with father figure, going home, connecting with the father figure. Pisces Sun is very empathetic and compassionate and very loving. You could have a Sun in Pisces placement, perhaps some other water sign here. It can be feeling very drawn to your roots as well, as if you have something more to learn from your home. There could be more communications that take place, but with the world there, it can be that you're traveling there. Okay. But apart from that, Pisces and the Sun and the 4th house is like epiphanies and realizations coming to you from an internal perspective. So you meditate and you get the answers that you've been seeking, the truth you've been wanting, the clarity you've needed, and so on. It's an inner compass that just activates here in this month for you. And any form of solitude you have, make use of that and ask the questions you need, or kind of attune yourself to what you're feeling at that time, and see where that takes you. You know, it's a very curious exploration, I feel. And once again, it's a very personal thing that is unique to you, but it's at the same time very transcendental and unifying for all of us. It's sort of like you recognize, you know, that phrase where we're all one. It becomes just a sentence unless you feel it, right? So these like cliche type of things is like it's just a thing, something that people say, but when you understand it, it's a whole other level which just can't be expressed in any better way. For example, right? So there could be some sort of recognition here of your spiritual nature or your emotional balance. You can be relating or connecting with your family members in a different manner, in a much deeper manner here. And that makes you feel even more fulfilled. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Virgos. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.